When Maddie was born, for the first few weeks, I'd say about 4 weeks, it just felt like, wow, we've got this amazing baby that just wakes and sleeps and feeds, falls asleep again, and I just felt quite good really I'd say about the first 4 weeks, and everything was great, and the feeding was everything was going smoothly. And then for whatever reason, I don't know exactly why, she just became very unsettled from about 5 weeks onwards. Until I'd say about 16 weeks, so until about 4 months, when she really took a turn for the better. The days just became very hard, and we did get some relief at night, because she did seem to settle at night when everything went dark, especially, and when we were all settled, she seemed to fall asleep. So that was a huge relief. But then during the day, she just, from, say, for example, 7 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, possibly just wouldn't sleep at all, apart from being on me or being, holding her closely. And then she would cry a lot. You would put her down to sleep and think, oh great, she's asleep, she's down, and then within a few minutes she'd be up again, and then you'd spend the next probably couple of hours trying to work out what was wrong, trying to console her, trying to put her back down. But then by the time she was ready to go back down, or by the time she would go back down, it was time to feed again, and it was like the whole cycle would start again. And I do remember dreading the days, thinking I'm not sure how I'm going to get through the whole day, and feeling sort of quite desperate. So there's that thought that sometimes that you can cope with it for 1 night or 2 nights, but the thought that it would continue for a long time or not get out of those habits is a bit worrying. I know it's normal that babies do cry a lot, and particularly at that age, sort of 7, 8 weeks thereabouts, I think that, it kind of reaches a peak, they cry a lot. But at the same time, I knew that this wasn't right, that she would go all day without settling at all. So I was really desperately trying to get some help, and I did see a particular GP who was a specialist in breastfeeding. It was really a relief to get somebody who took it seriously. And I think that was, so when I did seek other help, I think that was really good to have people that maybe in a way they were thinking, don't worry, and people would say, it will pass. But I think when it was dismissed as, this is just normal, get over it kind of thing, that wasn't very helpful. Whereas when people were very sympathetic to it, took it very seriously, and were understanding, I think that was really helpful. As a couple, my husband and I, we did really, I think, work well together, and that was really good, because I didn't feel that we were conflicting each other. My husband, I felt, was insightful a lot of the time, and at one point he did say, we've got to help her through this, we've got to be with her through this. And I think that helped me to see that she's just really struggling herself, and she wasn't just trying to be difficult and demanding, but that she was actually really very, very uncomfortable and just couldn't sleep. I knew she probably really wanted to, and you could see that she was desperate to sleep at times, but she just couldn't allow herself. And I think in some respects we just muddled through. As my mum came to visit, and she said, well, how have you been, because she lives overseas, and she said, well, how have you been coping? And I kind of said, well, just been muddling through really. And she said, oh well, we'll just all muddle through together now then.